Hello folks, it's Stephen from Sound of an Ocean Wave again, and this is the long-awaited tarot goals video that I mentioned in a couple of previous videos, and I've finally gotten around to doing it. So basically, I just want to share with you my feelings towards how my journey with tarot is going so far, and to share also hopes and goals that I have for the way forward. So firstly, I just want to say thank you, first of all, for all the encouragement that this online community has given me. It's really helped spur me on, and I thank you for all the advice and tips that I've received, the feedback that I've gotten, and yes, I'm really enjoying this journey with tarot. I've learnt so much since I started towards the end of last year, and as I've said before, I have had experience with tarot over the years, but very limited, and only recently have I started to really go for it, as they say, and I've not regretted it so far, and I doubt that I will. So I've learnt a good grounding in what each of the cards represents. I've gotten used to using more than one deck. I've even gone out of my comfort zone by getting the Wild Unknown Tarot, which is slightly different, well, perhaps more than slightly different to the Rider-Waite system, and I'm really getting on with it. I'm connecting with it, and I'm still getting to know it, and but already it's provided me with some very valuable personal readings, and I feel that as a deck it connects well with me to the inner person for personal growth, personal messages, and self-development. I feel that it touches into that quite well, and I'm still using my Legacy of the Divine Tarot, and I also occasionally use my trusty Rider-Waite deck, which I'll be using today, and I'll explain what I mean by that shortly. So yes, I'm gaining a confidence that I've not had for a while, not just with tarot but in life in general, and that's come through the encouragement of others and through the messages of the cards. So I want to progress with that, and I want to deepen my understanding of the cards and using them and extend the various ways that they can be used for study, for personal growth, for guidance. So that's my intention for the way ahead. I'm open to obtaining other decks as well. In fact, there's a couple that I have in mind that I may purchase in the future. There's also at least one Oracle deck that I've got my eyes set on, and so I'm going to develop in that way, and also I want to extend my reading of various books and see things from different perspectives. And I want to continue to produce these videos and to grow with these videos and to be more creative and to not just like be doing unboxings, but doing that, but also doing more video responses to tags, etc. And but I also want to do a bit of sharing of my insights that I've been gaining into tarot, into the tarot cards, and I may do a series of on particular cards, just sharing my insights that I've gained just from my own point of view, my own personal insights. There's plenty of information out there on meanings of the cards, but I want to relate it to how I see it and how it applies to my life, and hopefully it will give some kind of fresh perspective to other people as well. So look out for those videos. I want to extend my spiritual practice from not just reading with the cards, but to link it with other spiritual practices, and particularly I have in mind crystals and stones, and the energy work that you can do with those, and linking that with tarot. I know that many people do put crystals and stones with their tarot decks, and use the stones in meditation, because meditation is something else that I've been getting into and want to progress with as well. And I'd like to use crystals and stones in that as well, so I'll be doing some research, some learning on that, and obtaining some crystals and stones as I identify particular ones that I'd like to have or drawn towards. Because one of the things that I feel that I need more is to get a more sense of a grounding, as well as progressing spiritually and intuitively. I want also to be grounded, and I feel that having crystals and rock stones, whatever you want to call them, it really appeals to me as something that's tactile, and you can lock into the earthy energy to be grounded in and to experience the energies there for healing and other things. So that's basically what my intentions are for the way forward. I may explore astrology a little bit to see how it links in with the tarot. Possibility is the Kabbalah, but I'm pushing that further down the line because I know how involved it can be. But I understand the basics of the Tree of Life and how that relates to the tarot, and that's enough for me at the moment. I'll continue to do readings for myself, and I may share some of those readings with you, like I'm going to in this video in a moment. And one of the goals I have as far as reading for others is to have given a reading for at least 1 to 3 people in 6 to 12 months time, not in a professional way, not in a paid way. That is something I'm not even considering yet. If I ever will, we'll see how we go with that. But as far as doing readings for the people, just to to get a confidence with reading the cards, to be able to do it not just for myself but for someone else. And I want to have at least attempted that in some way between 6 to 12 months is the guideline for most of these goals. So I've mentioned doing a reading, and I intend to do one now. I found this spread called Manifesting Your Wildest Dreams spread. I found it on biddytarot.com, and I shall link it in the description below. And it's a 7-card spread to do a reading on where you are in relation to your goals and to the way forward with your goals. So let's do this reading now, and it'll open up various insights as I go along. And the first card represents where I am in relation to my goal, where I am now in relation to my goal. So we'll shuffle the cards and we'll pick a card. I'll spend too long shuffling, I've already shuffled them before. Save time. And the first card is the Queen of Wands, relating to where I am now in relation to my goal. And to me this speaks of Queen of Wands is very creative, she's focused, she's organised, she knows what she's about. She already her staff there is, you can see the buds of things beginning to develop. These 3 there, which is the perfect circumstances for growth. So she's about growth, focus, creativity, and that's the way I feel in relation to the goals that I'm setting, is that I have that sense of that creative spirit within me now. I'm focused on what I want to achieve, and already I can see the first fruits, the budding of what I've been doing so far. So I believe that it perfectly illustrates where I am in relation to my goals in this way. So that's the first card. The second asks how am I in relationship with my goal. So how do I relate to the goal? How am I? What's my relationship towards my goal at this time? How do I view it? And we have the 5 of Swords. Now, what I get from this is there's a bit of reticence moving forward, a bit of I suppose self-doubt because of past failures, of past battles that have been lost, things that have not worked out. And I have this thing sometimes where I get enthusiastic, the enthusiasm of the Queen of Wands, and start moving forward. But then I have those niggling doubts as to, well, you've tried things like this before and things have gone wrong. Well, I think what this is saying is that that's where I am now. But I need to deal with those doubts in order to be able to move forward. That this is a past. Just because I've lost a past battle doesn't mean that I can't just come away from that, put that in the past. It's done with, and to move on to new things. And it doesn't have to follow that same pattern as before. So I think that's how I am in relationship with my goal at present. So yes, there's that drive there, that enthusiasm, but also an element of doubt because of past failures, and that's something I need to deal with. So that's that one. Now, these are two cards side by side, because they're linked together, and it's the number 3 card is what do I need to release? So it's the thing that you need to let go of or to move away from in order to better achieve your goal. And the 4th card represents what you need to grow into more, what needs to come into your life more, what you need to have more of in order to achieve your goal. So the first part of that is the Page of Pentacles, and I'll draw the next card as well and take these together, because that's where they are in this the way they are in the spread. And the 4th card of what I need to grow into is the Empress. Now that's interesting. What I need to release is the beginner mentality. I get with that. To have more confidence in my abilities, to move away from the theory into the practice. So to let go of more, the theoretical and move more into the action, which is what the Page is followed by the Knight, which is more of an active court card. The Page is more the learning, the beginning stages. Well, is to move away from that, not to stay fixed in that, and even though that might be the safe place for me, to move out of that comfort zone. So that's what I get from that. And of course the Empress ties in very well with the Queen of Wands, the nurturing, the creativity. So I need to grow more into the creative side, and I've been thinking of taking up writing again, which is something I used to do, write poetry and stories, that kind of creativity. And I've been thinking of taking that up again, and I think that's an encouragement to take up things like that, things I can actually do that's creative, to nurture that creativity within me. So that's what I get from that. And the 5th one is, what steps can I take? What steps can I take? Yes, we have the 3 of Cups. Now that I see as being part of a community. That's about friendship, celebrating together, of goals achieved jointly, and the step I think that I can take to achieve my goals is to be part of a community. I see that as the online tarot community, and also part of the community, a community around me, not just with tarot, but with things that I do in the world, to be more joined, connected to other people, instead of being more solitary as I am now. I'm more solitary than that, but to move away from that and to become more connected with other people again. And I think that's telling me the steps I can take to further my goals, because I shall need to achieve the various goals I want to achieve, not just with tarot. I shall need to get alongside other people. What lesson will I need to master? This is the 6th card, and we have the 9 of Swords, and to me that talks about letting thoughts get too much, get you overthinking things, getting stressed, depressed. I have suffered from depression, and it's mastering the techniques to deal with my thought life, so that I don't get bogged down and weighed down with thoughts and fears and doubts that can come in and keep me awake at night. So that's something I need to learn to do and to master. And the final card is, what might I experience over the next 6 to 12 months? And for that we have the Six of Wands, which is about moving on. So progress, moving away from my present situation into something better, something calmer, something there you see, you have the I've always noticed, but you have the choppy waters there, but it's leaving and moving into the calmer waters. So going into calmer waters, it also can mean physical travel, so who knows, but I think it's a sense of moving on in life, moving on to the next thing within the next 6 to 12 months, which is a time frame I've already mentioned for the goals that I have. So it's a promising card saying that, yeah, if you follow the advice of the previous cards and your actions, your choices you're making now, it will lead to you moving on. You will progress. So that's an encouraging card. So I will, as I say, leave a link to this spread in the description below if you want to try this for yourself about any goals that you have. And thank you for listening, and I will be following up with further videos, and until then, all the best to you, and take care, and speak to you again soon. Bye.